Hi there. So you are here because you have a hormone imbalance or because you suspect you have a hormone imbalance. So if your hormones are all over the map, you are likely gaining weight no matter what you do. You probably feel extremely fatigued. Maybe you are easily overwhelmed, or maybe you have PMS every month. So you're feeling bloated, you have mood swings, you have cramps, your breasts get really tender. So you're dealing with those things every single month, and you're wondering why. And if you're dealing with those symptoms, the likelihood of you having a hormone imbalance is incredibly high. But I actually want to ask you a question first before we get into today's topic. I want to ask you, what are you doing right now to address your hormone imbalance? So even if you're not with me live today, even if you are watching the replay, make sure to let me know in the comments box. I really want to know what you are currently doing right now to address your hormone issue. And I'm getting a lot of silence and a lot of crickets because, and I was expecting this, because a lot of women are doing nothing to address their hormone imbalance because they don't know what to do. And if they've gone to the doctor, they probably haven't gotten the help that they're looking for. And this is a really big problem. And the reason why is because hormone imbalance, by the time you're experiencing those symptoms, by the time you're putting on weight, you're fatigued, you've got PMS, maybe you've got hot flashes, these things have already been going on for a really long time because the body really wants you to be in balance. It wants you to be healthy. So by the time symptoms are rearing their ugly head, they've probably been going on for a really long time. So that means that if you have those symptoms, that hormone imbalance is deeply rooted. And hormone imbalance does not go away on its own. And a big reason for this is because hormone imbalance is a symptom of something deeper going on in the body. So some of the biggest problem with not addressing your hormone imbalance is some of the things that can happen down the road. Having hormone imbalance can lead to things like infertility. It can lead to things like cancer. It can lead to more serious hormone conditions, or it can lead to a really nasty entrance into menopause. So we really do want to care about our hormones, and we really want to be proactive about this. So if you're wondering who I am, my name is Kendra Perry. I'm a functional diagnostic nutritionist. My business is Kendra Perry Nutrition. You can find me at kendraperry.net. And what I do is I help active and outdoor enthusiastic women. I help them heal their hormones so they can spend more time being outside doing the things that they really love to do rather than feeling sick, exhausted, overweight, and totally lazy and sluggish. Okay? So that's what I do. And I really want to tell you today about the 3 places you need to start. So a lot of people they don't even know where to start. And maybe that's why you're not doing anything about your hormone imbalance, is because you literally don't even know where to start, right? You're not getting good information. And, if you go to your doctor, they might recommend things like birth control pills, hormone replacement therapy. And this is not going to actually address the root cause of your hormone imbalance. It may get you symptom relief in the short term, but in the long term, it can actually just sort of mask your hormone imbalance so that they get worse over time. Okay, so today I'm going to be giving you 3 places that I want you to start addressing your hormone imbalance. And if you stick to the end, if you watch this video to the end, I'm actually going to give you a really juicy tip that may actually lead to a really quick result. Hormone imbalances are complicated. They do take time to address, and you do have to put the work in. There is no quick fix, but this one tip I'm going to give you at the end is going to provide you possibly a very quick solution. So definitely stick through to the end so you can get my bonus tip because it's juicy. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about my 3 top tips. So when you know your hormones in balance or you're suspecting your hormones are imbalanced, these are the 3 places to start. Also, these are going to prevent you from getting more hormone imbalance in the future. So number 1 is to ignore the eat less, exercise more theory. Okay, so a lot of women are trying to lose weight, right? And what we've been told is that it's all about energy expenditure and energy balancing, right? So we need to eat less food, we need to get more exercise so that we're always bringing in less fuel than we are consuming, right? Or we're always burning more fuel than we're consuming, right? And this is actually one of the quickest ways to hormone imbalance, and I will tell you why. So essentially, when you eat less food and then exercise more, you're putting yourself into an energy deficit. And that's actually relaying some really interesting information to your brain. It's telling your brain that there is a resource shortage. There is not enough food in this environment, and it needs to kind of down-regulate. We need to slow things down because we don't know where the food's at. Like, where is the food? So your body is like, okay, let's start to slow things down. So it'll actually suppress your thyroid hormone, okay? Thyroid hormone is crucial for weight loss, crucial for energy, and it's also the regulator of metabolism. So the brain tells the thyroid, hey thyroid, you need to slow down metabolism so that we're not using resources as quickly because there doesn't appear to be enough in our environment. So this thyroid slows down and you start to get cold and you start to gain weight and you start to feel fatigued all the time. Thyroid hormone is incredibly important. There is a receptor for thyroid hormone in every single cell in the body. So all your cells are going to suffer. Another thing, it just tells the body, the brain overall, that there's stress. So not only is the brain going to downregulate thyroid hormone, but it's going to downregulate a lot of your hormones because it really needs to start conserving those resources. So a lot of the women that I work with who are following this method, they do have some of the worst hormone imbalance. And I test all the women I work with. I test all their hormones. I've run hundreds and hundreds of panels, and I tend to see a lot of really crappy hormone balance in women who are following this sort of model, okay? So it is a very outdated model. And you may have had this experience with it. You find, you do really well on it for a while. You lose weight initially, but then the weight starts to creep back on. You start to lose your willpower. You start, getting more sugar cravings and just more cravings in general. And then you actually can't help but reach for that junkier food and the weight creeps back on. And sometimes women will actually gain more weight than they originally started with. Okay. And then starts the vicious cycle. So the research has proven time and time again that this doesn't work. But women are still following it because it takes a long time for the cutting edge research to get to the mainstream. So women are eating less, they're exercising more, and they're putting themselves in that energy deficit. And the result is that they gain more weight, not less, and then they totally suppress their hormones. Their hormones get even worse. So my number one tip is to stop following that method. You need to eat enough food. It's a little hard to figure out, and I can't really teach you how to do that on that video, but you do want to eat to appetite, and you do want to be conscious of the activity that you're getting in a day. So if you're relatively sedentary, maybe if you're like me and you work on a computer all day and you get some exercise a few times a day on your breaks, you're going to be eating less food than someone who is incredibly active or has a very active job, or someone who is an athlete. You're going to have to eat enough food. Okay, so that's my first tip. And remember, if you want the juicy quick results tip, you have to stay till the end. That will be my bonus tip at the end of this video. So number 2 is to eat the right types of food. And this comes back to more bad information that we've been getting from Cosmo magazine, we've been getting from the media, and it's about fat and cholesterol. So we've been told don't eat cholesterol. Cholesterol obviously is a component of animal products, so it's in eggs, it's in any, Mel wants that juicy tip. So it is in any of the meat products that you eat. Eggs have a really bad reputation. And a big reason for that is because there was some research done in the early 50s and we've kind of stuck to it even though it's been disproven. So a lot of women are avoiding meat or they're avoiding cholesterol containing products because they think it's bad. They're also avoiding fat because we've been fed a lot of information about fat and why it's bad for us. And a lot of women are following a low-fat diet, okay? And why is this a problem? Like, isn't this healthy? No, it's not healthy because our hormones are actually made from fat and cholesterol. That is kind of the 2 key ingredients to make your cortisol, to make estrogen, to make progesterone, to make any of those hormones. We do need cholesterol and fat, and Mel's saying fat is good to eat it up. Mel is my good friend, and she definitely knows that we need to eat fat and cholesterol to have healthy hormones. So you know, avoid all those low-fat products. I want you to try to eat a tablespoon of healthy fat with every single meal, and healthy fat comes in the form of organic grass-fed butter, coconut oil, olive oil, avocado, the lesser known, and I don't actually think it tastes that good, but you can eat it if you're into that sort of thing. Okay, so you need to make sure that you are eating those types of food, you know, so if you want to have healthy hormones, it's going to be really healthy if you avoid meat products. I know it's unfortunate. A lot of people don't like eating meat products, but we do need them to have healthy hormones. So I recommend eating a little bit of meat every day. It doesn't have to be a lot. A little bit will go a long way. And then, of course, making sure you're getting that healthy fat with every meal. So that's my number 2 tip. And remember, the bonus tip is at the end. So stick around till the end, and I'll give you that really juicy bonus tip that's going to give you, hopefully, a really quick result. Okay. So number 3 is really important, and this is something, oh my gosh, that fly. So this is something that you might do every single day that is totally sabotaging your hormone imbalance and might be leading you to gain more weight and is probably leading to fatigue. So I heard a statistic that women put on average 515 chemicals on their body every single day before they even leave the house. Think of what's on your bathroom vanity, right? We have toners, moisturizers, cleansers, shampoo, conditioner, makeup, concealer. What else do we put on? Soap. I don't even know. I'm totally not a girl. I have like no products and I barely remember to clip my toes. But anyways, a lot of women have a lot of products. And if you're buying it from a drugstore, if these are conventional, normal, run-of-the-mill products, they're full of chemicals, right? Nail polish, that's a good one too. Thanks, Mel. So yeah, so we put a ton of chemicals all over our body, and we actually absorb 60% of what we put on the skin, and it bypasses our normal immune system, and it goes directly into the bloodstream. And once those chemicals are in the bloodstream, they have the ability to come into contact with every single cell in the entire body. Okay, these chemicals can totally mess with your hormones. A lot of them contain what's called xenoestrogens. So these are synthetic chemicals that mimic human estrogen, and they totally block all your receptor sites. So they can make you very estrogen dominant, which leads to acne, weight gain, infertility, fibroids, and even cancer later down the line. Okay. On top of that, these chemicals interfere with your mitochondrial function. So the mitochondria are these little powerhouses of each cell. They are responsible for creating energy. And if they are getting poisoned by these chemicals, then yeah, you're going to be really fatigued and you're not going to have a lot of energy, and you're going to feel lazy and sluggish, and it's going to be hard for you to get out and be active, do those activities that you love and that do help you lose weight. So that's my number 3 tip. You need to switch out your personal care products. So a really good resource for this is the Environmental Working Group. They are at ewg.org. And if you do /ewg.org wow, I can't talk today. So ewg.org/skin deep. There's actually a database where you can put in any of your products that you are wondering about, and it will tell you what the safety is of each of those ingredients. So whether they are linked to specific diseases or conditions, whether they're safe. And what you're going to find is that even some of your organic products may not be very safe. So you actually have to, do a little bit of research and really figure out what is going to be safe for you to put on your skin. A really good thing to do is to actually make your own product. So the one product that I do have is a face scrub, and I actually make it from manuka honey, jojoba oil, or maybe that's jojoba oil, sea salt, and then I'll put a bit of lavender and tea tree oil in there. And that's what I wash my face with, and I use that as a mask as well. It works amazing. So there's a lot of really great things that you can make from home, but you really need to start detoxing your bathroom vanity or sink area, because there are probably a ton of things just sitting right in front of you that you are using every single day that are totally fucking up your hormones, just fucking them up. So, okay, so just to do a quick recap, number 1 is to ignore the eat less, exercise more model of weight loss. It's going to totally mess with your hormones. It's going to make you gain more weight, not less. You need to eat to appetite. You need to make sure you fuel yourself for the activity that you do in a day. Number 2 is to eat your fat, eat your cholesterol. We want to focus on saturated fats, and we want to focus on meat products to get that cholesterol, because those things are the producers of hormones. And then number 3 is to detox that bathroom shelf and get rid of all those toxic personal care products that you are putting on your skin every single day, and they're totally impacting your health and your hormones and your ability to lose weight. Okay, so now for my bonus tip. And I know a lot of people are really struggling. If you have a hormone imbalance, yeah, you probably feel overweight, you're fatigued, you're dealing with PMS every month, and that's a huge bummer, and you probably want some instant relief. And, you know, there is no quick instant fix, but you can actually, there is one supplement that I recommend that really has a massively beneficial effect on hormones and energy levels. I take it every single day, and I recommend it in all my clients, and it's called Oceans Alive Marine Phytoplankton. So marine phytoplankton is basically sort of like a type of algae. It lives in the sea, and it contains a wide spectrum of nutrients and minerals. Okay, and most of the reason why we are fatigued is because we're mineral and nutrient deficient. That is also a big reason why we are why we have hormone imbalance, because we don't have the necessary tools to even build our hormones. So we don't only need the fat and the cholesterol, but we need a whole series of minerals and nutrients as well. And the nice thing about the phytoplankton, you got it, Mel, phytoplankton. So it is a live supplement, and it's very, very, very sensitive to toxins. So it actually will die if it's exposed to toxins. So when you get it, it's actually fully alive and it's very clean, because it naturally removes those toxins out, because it can't live when there are toxins. So it's a really fantastic formula. I usually recommend 2 to 4 dropperfuls a day in water. Yes, it does taste like slimy seawater. It's a bit gross, but that you will get a really fantastic result. Even if you don't notice it immediately in your symptoms, like this is going to be doing yourself a huge favor in terms of your mineral and nutrient balance and in terms of your hormone imbalance. So if you want a quick result in your energy levels and your hormones, I recommend taking Oceans Alive. Yes, plug your nose. Oceans Alive Marine Phytoplankton. I love that supplement. So definitely check that out. So that's all I got for you guys today. I'm Kendra Perry from Kendra Perry Nutrition. You can check me out at kendraperry.net if you want a more in-depth training on what you need to do to balance your hormones right now. Head over to my website. You can actually get my 3-part mini training. I'll give you all my juiciest tips that I do exactly with my one-on-one clients to help balance your hormones. That opt-in, that freebie, is not going to be available for much longer. I'm going to be reworking it and turning it into a paid course. So if you want to get that now, definitely head over and check that out. And thanks for tuning in, and I cannot wait to come to you again soon in a live video in the near future. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.